rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Oh yeah.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this morning? What a day. What a day, man. Oh, man. So I've fixed it from last night, you bastards. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Yes, it got a little out of hand last night. Thank you so much. We were having fun. James became a new YouTube member. Welcome, James. Welcome to becoming a new member of this place over here. Yes, it is. It can be a little crazy at times, but I think I fixed it from last night, so it shouldn't be dinging anymore. we will still have it, but it'll be fixed. Let's put it that way. Thank you so much, James. Welcome. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Fisher Lady, and good morning, General Rickers. Put the banjo down the banjo and step away from the drum, or the like button gets it. You can't get me this morning. I've got it turned off this morning. It's not going to happen. I appreciate it though. That was quite hilarious last night. I will say. I know there was some people that probably got upset by it. It's okay. It's okay. That drum is just annoying. I know. Nothing I could do about it at the time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, General Rickles. Yes, that was, you guys are still laughing about it. You guys must have just had an absolute hoot. Just make it send a message said, oh, that's funny. Pay to troll. I was like, oh yeah, it wasn't intentional. Yes, Debbie, I know you guys had a blast last night. Sometimes you just need that little bit of laughter. You need that little bit of laughter. There was some people that got very upset. They were just like, all right, I can't handle it. It's too much. Even Megan said that drum is way too much. And I agree. It was good for one time. So you got your shot in last night. Oh, but traveling south today, and we'll listen then. Just know this, Tracy, whenever you listen to it, just wait until the super chats are over because nothing gets done. Just you can just watch the first part of it, and then whenever you see everyone join in and I get rated, that's when it goes bonkers. And it goes bonkers. I don't know. Just just fast forward. Unless you just like watching me being tortured. My facial expressions are the best. Oh, yeah, but I can't. Dude. I did have a fun time though. I will say I did have a fun time. It was humorous beyond belief. Well, you get some coffee, Stormy. Yeah, we did have a good time. And you guys, I do appreciate every bit of it. And I don't for those of you that are just like, oh my God, I'm gonna quit if you do that, unsubscribe. Sorry. I mean, you'll still get it, but it's gonna take a lot more to make that happen again. God, that you guys had me in tears yesterday. Oh, it was hilarious. 4 a.m. your partner woke up and asked what the hell was going on. You're giggling your head off. You got your shots in last night. It was definitely fun. All right, let's get to our first story. If you ask how much did I make off of that, I don't know. I didn't even track it. I really don't. I don't know, $20, $100. It was because you could get it to ding just with 99 cents. I did not pay attention to how much I made last night. I wasn't expecting. I had to go to sleep afterwards. But yeah, it was quite entertaining. Thanks, Wes. Good to see you. I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't keep track of anything. It's not something I would if anybody's thinking of doing that, I would suggest not, because it gets really annoying after a while. Oh, yes. Oh, Megan and Tug's stream. I got to catch a good part of their stream early on. I was listening to their stream while I was doing some stuff around the house last night. So I got to enjoy a good part of their stream. And yeah, it was fun. Oh my. So here we go this morning. Data Republican just got doxxed, and the outpouring of support will warm your heart. Imagine toiling anonymously away on a game-changing tool for government transparency and accountability, playing a game with billions of dollars at stake. People have been deleted for far less. When suddenly your identity is revealed for the world to see, what would you call that? Data Republican, small r, calls it Tuesday afternoon. Regular readers here know that over the last several weeks, I've been a huge fan of Data Republican's tireless work on her initiative and her own expense. She's made it possible for anyone, anywhere to investigate the dirty money flows that start with your paycheck, travel through Washington, and from there into the hands of countless questionable NGOs. It's a miracle in our data age that an amateur sleuth, albeit a highly talented one, can create those tools and make them universally available. Data R is the kind of person that in a sane republic we'd pin medals on. Instead, someone painted a target on her back. I have been doxxed, Data R revealed on Tuesday. Rather than let the others control the narrative, I am addressing this directly. My name is Jenica Pounds. I recently resigned from my job to pursue Doge-adjacent efforts full-time. While my background check is still in progress, my ultimate goal is to work on the administration to cut waste and improve efficiency. I hesitated over republishing her name here, even though Jenica's post has been viewed and, as of this writing, 4.5 million times. And it feels somehow tawdry, participating even in some tiny way in what happened. I'm in no small part because she gave up everything for this, my safety, my career, because I believe in what I'm doing. While these online games normally disgust me too much to play along, the stakes are too high to let Jenica's doxer remain anonymous on my page. And this is your YouTube channel of the guy who doxed you. This right here is the person that doxed that person. Good morning, Kate Boom. Welcome for becoming a new YouTube member. You are welcome here. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. And no, you will not be getting a drum and a banjo this morning. It's a good thing I didn't have the song any longer than that. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate it. Oh, that was too fun. I appreciate you, Kate. Yes, it's very calming not to see that thing go crazy this morning. I was just reading her post last night and I learned that Data R is deaf and was doxxed by another deaf person following her somewhat disguised appearance on the News Nation video podcast. She was on the show discussing a 17 million USAID grant to an NGO, and the only thing they did with 17 million was make a terrible Muppet show. That garnered 200 views per episode. That's 200, not 200,000 or anything. Now, you know why they doxed Data Republican. Vigil Fox posted on the previous link. She's exposing the entire corrupt NGO system. And she says, I am 100%, well, she types, I am 100% deaf and nonverbal. My lack of signing fluency does not make me any less deaf. It is a result of any language impediment related to my autism called expressive dysphasia, which affects my ability to construct language fluently in real time. This impacts my signing, speaking, and even writing. Although writing allows me more time to correct mistakes, my interpreter and I spend hours refining my talking points to ensure she conveys what I mean, not just what I say. For whatever it's worth, I've always found Data R's posts perfectly clear, whatever difficulties she has writing them. The clarity of her communications is in no way hindered by her handicap. Let me share a few with you. They only come along after you when you're a threat to the system. Keep going. You're doing incredible work. Your name isn't Data Republican. What? In all seriousness, you can obviously take the dox as a sign you did something righteous for the people. Dana Loesch says you're over the target. You've got support, and dragging them into the light is the safest and best place to be. Cynical Pubula says, I've got your back, Data R. Do you want us to make the doxer famous? I'd rather get them reported. She replied, they're also publishing my location too. Ugh. Even Data Mom joined in. This is difficult to post, to share. I share almost all of her posts to support her, but this makes it seem so much more serious. So many of her followers have lifted our family in prayer. Thank you. I intend to keep supporting her and calling out those who are not joining. Maybe the most touching of all was the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Ed Martin, a Missouri Republican, who replied to Jenica's announcement. Please contact me or my office. Martin and Data R, you'll be pleased to know we have established communications. Another data guy, Richard Crow, added, upon further reflection, I realized that doxing was an indirect attack on all of us. If Data were to retire from this role, which is completely understandable given tonight's events, the American people would lose her insights to better understand what is being hidden. Don't worry, she isn't giving up. I'm not backing down, and I look forward to serving the administration, Jenica assured her followers. I've never subscribed to anyone's X feed or Substack, but as soon as I'm done with this column, I'll go subscribe to Data R's. She's earned at least that much. That is so nice. In the middle of the raid, you were kind of funny that the drum and the banjo went off not only for the person who gifted memberships, but also for each person who received the gift. Yes, that was, like I said, it got out of hand. It got out of hand. I'll get it to do something a little bit different for members that get the subscription, but doggone it, that just got crazy. United Cajun Navy is guarding her. Yes, there you go. West Alabama, the United Cajun Navy is guarding her. They offered a free swamp tours to anyone trying to harm her. Oh, love that. I love that so much. That is one person that is pretty darn solid. That's impressive that everyone was kind enough to back this person up. Really. That's crazy. I've already subscribed to Data Republican Small R, because she's just a tool builder, deaf, and has a hard time communicating because the signing is a real big deal for her. But here's something I saw that was pretty interesting right here. This morning's briefing, Jake Tapper agrees that Jake Tapper is horrible at his job. And this came in from Cruiser. It says, "Happy Thursday, Cruiser morning briefing friends." I'm not going to try to say that. Sana floated along on a cloud of self-satisfaction whenever her mystery margaritas led to an uncomfortable social pairing on community laundry nights. There's never a bad time to mock Jake Tapper, a.k.a. White Joey Reed, for being awful at what he does. I've been doing it for years. In fact, I've probably gone after Tapper more than any other Democrat propagandist in the mainstream media for one big reason. Okay, maybe two reasons. Sometimes I getting the sneezes from my wife. Okay, maybe two reasons. I get Tapper confused with Rachel Maddow. I know, Maddow's voice is deeper. The main reason I've gone after Tapper so much is that he was able to pull the wool over a lot of conservatives' eyes for a long time. None of them will admit it now, but I've got a pretty sharp memory. Back when the online Gentlemen's Club X was known as Twitter, a lot of conservative regulars would interact with Tapper. He was known for being active on the site, very willing to engage with people on the right. He would DM a lot of them too. I was never one to have a friendly Twitter chat with Tapper because I always knew he was a tool. I had been hanging around politics a lot longer than most back then. I was more cynical and skeptical than my right-wing compadres. I had also been writing about leftist bias in the mainstream media for a while, so I was always on the lookout for things that others weren't. Whenever I would point out that Tapper was a biased jagoff, I would get pushback from other conservatives who would say something like, "Oh, he's better than the rest of them." No, he's always been one of the worst. I knew I would eventually be proven correct because that happens to me a lot. President Trump's first term and Joe Biden's occupation of the Oval Office exposed Tapper for what he always was, a former Democratic operative, and who went into journalism to carry water for the Democratic National Committee. It's a pathetic cliche. Another conservative who wasn't part of Tapper's Twitter clashes, one of my good friends, Stephen Green, who yesterday wrote about CNN's hacks, latest plumbing of the depths. It's been a real doozy, or a humdinger if that suits your taste better, but here's the intro into Stephen's column. How many big-name reporters does it take to tell you 3 months away from now that they finally admitted last summer that you had figured out almost 5 years ago? 2, their names are Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. Set for release on May 20th by Penguin Random House, the CNN anchor and the Axios correspondent are writing a tell-all, not really, but I'll return to that, titled Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up and Disastrous Choice to Run Again. Once again, the left is beyond parody. If there were any decent human beings in the left media clown car, they would give up the charade about being stunned by Joe Biden's slurring, drooling debate performance last summer. That's like working with elephants in 4 years and then one day being shocked to discover that they're quite large. There's no way to spin the fake epiphany that the Dems flying monkeys in mainstream media all claim they had just last June 27th. Yes, Joe Biden was worse than ever before by the time that his handlers stupidly let him on stage for the debate. but he was a barely functioning pudding brain during the 2020 campaign. He should never have been let out of that basement. Unfortunately for Biden, be president had been at the top of Dr. Mama Jill Honey's to-do list for him ever since they were married. Her ambition overrode any embarrassment a normal wife would feel watching her husband drool into his Cheerios bag in front of millions of people on the regular. As Stephen notes later in the column, the people over on this side of the aisle knew all along that the chief executive of the United States had the mental agility of a wet sack of lima beans. The Democrats love to say that their voters are better educated than conservatives, but at least we know what the word dementia means. A more interesting book would reveal all the tortured rationalizations that Tapper and his co-conspirators had to go through in order to maintain the level of horse manure-infused delusion that it took to tell themselves that Joe Biden was mentally functional. Tell us, Jake, what you told yourself every time Biden wandered around a stage shaking hands with people who weren't there. He's a ghost whisperer. He's just a nice guy that's always ready to extend a friendly greeting, even if no one was there at the moment. Walk us through this process of thinking. Stephen says that he would like a tell-all that describes how the cover-up was orchestrated. I'd like to know some of those conversations too. I'm more than interested in the psychology. I want to know exactly how the crazy people convince themselves they're not crazy, and then I want to help them get their straitjackets on. And everything isn't awful. Look at that. Puppy go. Brings his ball. Brings it up here. And down he goes. This is so much fun. Got it. Bring it up. Carry it down. Just so he can play with his ball. No. No, my ball. My ball. He's got to go get his ball. Somebody help this little dog. Somebody help. My pants last night was a hoot. A hoot, I tell you. Yes, Stephen, it was. We did have a great time last night. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So this next one we have is the truth about Melania. I've never met our First Lady. I don't know her, though I'd love to interview her one day. I'm guessing that most of you don't know her either, but if you were to rely on the mainstream media's reporting, you'd probably draw some unfavorable conclusions. A quick Google search of her name over the last 48 hours brings up headlines about how she's been absent for the last month, how she doesn't want to play the role of First Lady, or how she keeps to herself. One newspaper even called her aloof, and the most liberal ones of the liberal like to make assumptions about her marriage to the president. But here's the thing. These people don't know her either. They're just twisting a few facts in a way that fits their anti-Trump agenda and adding a little speculation for good measure. And if I had to guess, that's exactly why Melania Trump has stopped playing along. That's why she only lets us in on her life on her terms. If she were a Democrat, she'd be a feminist icon. First of all, the Trumps made it very clear that she would be splitting her time during her second term between her home in Florida and the White House, and that Trump Tower in New York, where their teenage son, Barron, is living during his freshman year at NYU. So all of this speculation about her absence is nonsense. Furthermore, she's been busy filming her documentary for Amazon, which is being directed by Brett Ratner, and that's been in the works for a while. It's not a secret. Melania, the movie? And she is her own person. When other first ladies in recent history, Hillary Clinton particularly comes to mind, do their own thing, whatever it might be, the media is all over it like it's the most amazing thing they've ever witnessed. When Melania does it, she's a weirdo. Quite frankly, I'd rather have the one who keeps to herself as opposed to the one who attempts to lead cabinet meetings. I don't vote for the president's wife. Admittedly, there's a bit of mystery about her, though I think this documentary, which is slated for late 2025, may help us get to know her a little bit better. Personally, I think some of that has to do with her Eastern European background, but her husband has chalked this up confidence too. I think part of the beauty is that mystery. She doesn't need to be out there. She has confidence. She has a lot of self-confidence. He said in a 2023 interview with Megyn Kelly, I think you'd have to if you wanted to survive being in her position. As someone who enjoys the pomp and circumstance that often accompanies presidential politics, it's fun to have a more visible first lady. I love seeing and hearing what she's wearing, what she's doing, what she's saying, but Mrs. Trump tried that the first time around, and she was either ridiculed or overlooked by the media. As a matter of fact, when I was searching for a photo to use for this article, I was met with hundreds of pictures from Trump's first term with Melania, spending time with the children in various capacities and doing so much that we never really heard about from the mainstream media. That's something I've learned while covering her, something many people don't know about her. She's got a soft spot for children, particularly foster children. During an interview on Fox and Friends last month, she actually mentioned that she's thinking about bringing back her Be Best initiative, which was aimed at preventing and overcoming cyberbullying. It's sort of a faltered because many platforms wouldn't support it. And if you want to see more of this article, go join PJ Media, and you can get the rest of this article. So if you're wanting to know more about Melania, there it is right there. And the magnificent reshaping of the American political media landscape is a beautiful thing. There are heady days indeed for long-suffering conservatives in the United States of America. Yeah, she had a whole White House to redecorate after what the Democrats did to it, and she put together that governor's dinner that was over the weekend. Trump specifically thanked her for that. Exactly. Let's see. Whom would we rather love to see in sexy garb? Mike Obama, Dr. Jill, or Melania? The thought of the first two makes you throw up a little bit in your mouth. Well, I will say this for Dr. Jill. I think she was probably more attractive in her younger days. Probably around the time that she was babysitting the Biden children before Joe Biden's wife passed. I think she was probably pretty attractive then. We've had all our fosters. Our fee is high, but we cover all vaccines, rabies, alter, and CHIP. Awesome. I love that you do that. But she's talking about, I think she's talking about foster children. But, I'm sure that you can do that. You can do vaccines, rabies, and alter and CHIP. I wouldn't suggest doing that to a human child, but I'm sure you can. So he married the nanny. Yeah, you didn't know that? She was babysitting the Biden kids. She was their babysitter at one point in time, and yes, he married her. Strange, huh? These are certainly heady days. If you don't believe me, just do a search. About her, you'll find out so much more. These are certainly heady days indeed for long-suffering conservatives in the United States of America after Joe Biden's one-term presidency. Geez, I feel like I'm just losing my tongue. That felt like 10 years. We are finally able to seize being filled with existential dread about the future of the republic. For now, anyway. I've made the point several times in recent months that the Democrats who want to disrupt President Trump's ambitious agenda don't grasp that he is the apex disruptor. Trump just spent 4 years of office singularly focused on a return to power so he could usher the country out of communist muck. And I think I read this yesterday. It just sounds so damn familiar. I bet you I did. I did read this yesterday. I was like, that seems so screwy. Why am I seeing this thing again? I'm changing this topic. I was like, all these words sound real familiar, and I had the same problem reading it yesterday. Oh, good morning. Coffee is ready. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Grab some coffee. That's what it sounds like to me. So he married the nanny. Yes. Hi, disabled. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Disabled Dahlia, yes, coffee is ready. That's what we're going to do. We are going to get some coffee. We shall do that. Let me see. I know I've got it here somewhere. Yes, I want to give you guys a little bit of otters this morning. Be right back.
Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We live in pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. We talk and Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We live in pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, and inside jokes and endless memes. In Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We'll live in pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, from inside jokes and endless memes. We type our hearts, we spam the love. Our chat rooms like a lit up club. Oh, chat rooms like a lit up club. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We'll live in pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. Ooh, yeah, we come together night and day. We laugh, we play in our own way. A family in a cyberspace, loving hearts in this virtual place. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We'll live in pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream.
Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed last week that the Trump administration is moving forward with the release of Jeffrey Epstein's client list. Following a directive from President Donald Trump, speaking at CPAC with conservative commenter Benny Johnson, Bondi stated that she had been briefed on the matter and vowed that Trump's directive would be followed. I was briefed on that yesterday. I can't talk about that publicly, but President Trump has given a very strong directive, and that's going to be followed. Yeah, safe travels, Tracy. Very safe. Be very careful out there. She said, emphasizing the volume of documents involved. When pressed on whether action would be taken, Bondi dismissed any skepticism. Donald Trump doesn't make empty promises, she stated. The upcoming release is expected to expose high-profile individuals linked to Epstein, a matter that many Americans feel has been ignored for too long. Since she dropped this bombshell, many have been wondering when the list is going to be released. Well, Bondi has confirmed that the documents related to Jeffrey Epstein's criminal activities are set to be released as soon as today. That is going to be interesting. Speaking with Jesse Waters on Fox News show Wednesday evening, Bondi revealed that the sheer scale of Epstein's crimes and the challenges involved in making the files public. There are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have well over 250, actually, Bondi said. She emphasized that the delay in releasing the file is due to the efforts to protect the identities and personal information of the victims. But other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. Waters pressed Bondi for details, asking whether the public would see any flight logs or evidence from Epstein's extensive surveillance systems, which allegedly recorded activities inside his homes. She said, what you're going to see hopefully tomorrow is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, Bondi confirmed, but it's pretty sick what that man did. Waters noted that Epstein did not act alone, to which Bondi agreed. Along with his co-defendant, she added, he sure did. Numerous individuals have been tied to Jeffrey Epstein, who have been reportedly flown on his private jet to his private island, Little St. James, either through confirmed visits or speculation based on associations with public records. Among those known to have visited are former President Bill Clinton, who flew on Epstein's plane multiple times, though he denies setting foot on the island, and Prince Andrew. Microsoft founder Bill Gates is also suspected of visiting the island. Ironically, Democrats have tried hard to link Epstein to Donald Trump, implying that he is on the infamous list, which of course makes no sense since Trump is the one who campaigned on and is releasing the list. Last week, Bondi also told American Reports on Fox News that along with Jeffrey Epstein's files, the Department of Justice is reviewing classified documents related to the deletions of John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr., all under Trump's directive. It's sitting on my desk right now to review, she said.
A lot of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims, 200. So we have well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for sure.
He sure did.
Wow. Laying it down. Laying it down right there. That's going to be insane. Now, yesterday I showed something and I didn't realize exactly what it was at the time that I showed it. But now that I've seen it, I found out that I was mistaken. The Maine state representative was silenced for defending women. Most people seem to be getting on board with the idea that girls and women's sports should be, well, for girls and women. The state of Maine, however, isn't playing along, and apparently the state's politicians are taking it so far that anyone who does dare stand up for biological women who do not want to compete against men must be silenced. And that was Representative Laurel Libby, a Republican who represents Maine's 64th district, has served the State House of Representatives since 2020, but currently she's unable to vote or speak on the House floor unless she issues an apology. Her specific crime, pointing out that a high school boy named John turned Katie won the girls' pole vaulting state championship in Maine. The year before, he participated as a boy pole vaulter and came in 5th place. And here's what she posted on X, apparently upset colleagues on the House. Meet John, who now goes by Katie, won the girls' pole vaulting state championship in Maine after the state deliberately ignored the current federal rules and allowed him to compete. 2 years ago, John placed 5th in the boys' pole vaulting. Yet this year, when competing against girls, this unfair win propelled his schoolgirls team to win the overall state championship. On Tuesday night, the House voted 75 to 70 to censure Libby for the pose. So what I showed you yesterday was her being censured. After the vote, Speaker Brian Fracteau told her they'd take a break while she thought about her apology, but Libby has not apologized and has appeared on numerous TV shows and podcasts stating that she never will. I told him we don't need to take ease, as I was going to continue speaking up for Maine girls. She added, it's remarkable double standard, as are public photos of this individual in many places on social media and even some posted by the school. So yes, this post went viral, but this was an individual who participated in a public event, who publicly stood on a podium and accepted a championship medal that rightfully belonged to the girl standing on the second place spot. Fox also reports that Libby came to the House floor with a prepared 7-page speech on the importance of protecting girls and women's sports from trans inclusion. However, throughout the night, her microphone was constantly turned off when she was trying to deliver that speech. She says she was unable to even complete her first sentence on the topic. It sounds to me like liberal Democrats in Maine are just playing games that will ultimately punish her constituents, making it so Libby can't speak or vote only hurts the people she represents. Obviously, they keep voting her into office for a reason, but now she won't even be able to help push through a bill on expanding access to mental health resources that she herself proposed, something that could benefit the entire state. And of course, they're just punishing all the girls who want to play sports without losing to people who are biologically designed to be bigger, faster, and stronger. Libby's situation has received plenty of national attention over the last 24 hours, and she's earned the support of several prominent men and women throughout the country. Activist Riley Gaines has even compared the House actions to life in Afghanistan. The female representative of Maine lost her ability to vote and speak on the House floor for defending girls and women. No, this didn't happen in Afghanistan. It happened in America. Senator Ted Cruz pointed out the obvious. Democrats hate democracy, and says this is not normal. Today's Democrats hate democracy. Nancy Mace, Republican South Carolina, is also backing her up. Best of all, Libby has the federal government behind her. Maine's Governor Janet Mills has stated that she's not going to comply with Donald Trump's executive order on keeping biological males out of girls' sports, and even got into a heated exchange with the president recently. And we've shown that.
People in the country, but they have to come in legally. 2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue, because you'll never win another race. And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered. But, you know, they put up an eighth of an ounce here, an eighth of an ounce there, and it's 218 pounds or whatever was that. And hadn't been broken in 19 years. And then guy walks up who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That will be a record not going to be broken again in a long. So we put a ban on it, and to protect women. I mean, the women, if you watch the Olympics, you had 2 transitioned people that were fighting in the women's boxing. They have women's boxing category. And if you saw that, it was brutal. What happened to the Italian woman was a really good boxer. After one punch, she said, no, no, no more, no more. I've never been hit. It was a left. It was not even it was just a left jab.
Wow.
She hit so hard, she said, I can't do it. They forced her to go out. No, go out again. You'll do it. Goes out again, gets hit again. No, no, that's it. She didn't want to die, and it's crazy. But, the NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population,
Yes.
even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be.
Oh, yeah. Good
And
morning,
enjoy your
Crazy
life
Lady.
after
Good
governor,
to
'cause
see
I don't
you.
think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation, and we'll be enforcing aggressively, and we're going to be protecting our citizens. We're going to protect. So just to end this administration.
Yeah. Attorney General Pam Bondi is also putting the state on notice and says that the Department of Justice will not tolerate this behavior. New DOJ Pam Bondi tells Maine, California, and Minnesota to comply with federal laws protecting women's sports and girls. This Department of Justice will defend women and does not tolerate state officials who ignore federal law. Attorney General Pam Bondi urges states to comply. Imagine that they do not believe in protecting women in sports. I just find that unbelievable. Not as interesting as this one. Tulsi Gabbard to fire 100 plus NSA staffers who took part in hair-raising online sex chats. What the Trump administration has uncovered in just 5 weeks about what has been going on in Washington is beyond belief. What is happening in the NSA, however, is beyond anything that has been found, at least so far, in showing leftist, elitist self-absorption and contempt for the American taxpayer. It's not the waste and fraud that DOJ has been uncovering. It's much worse. City Journal revealed Monday that although the intelligence community is one of the most powerful parts of the American security apparatus, some of those entrusted with solemn responsibility to keep the nation safe have another on-the-job priority, which are sex chats. That's right. We're paying these people to protect the nation from threats, and they're spending their time on our dime talking about various lurid obsessions, delusions, deviances, and perversions. And those words are far too polite for some of what they were doing. Now, this all took place on the NSA's messaging program, IntelLink. That in itself was a violation of regulations, for an NSA staffer explained that all NSA employees sign agreements stating that publishing non-mission related material on IntelLink is usage violation that will result in disciplinary action. Yet for at least the last 2 years, NSA employees have turned IntelLink into SmutLink, swamping it with talk of sex, kink, polyamory, and castration. And there's no indication to that anyone faced any disciplinary action for breaking the rules about how IntelLink was supposed to be used. The Biden regime doesn't consider such talk to be non-mission related. After all, with the pride flags hanging from U.S. embassies worldwide and billions spent to push transgender madness around the globe, it's clear that libertinism and a rejection of traditional morality was a key element of the Biden regime agenda. Oh God, breaking news. If everyone breaks the law. Okay, breaking news. I don't know what's breaking there, but okay. Thank you, Slug. Good to see you. Not employed, so I should be safe to stay away from those swamp chats, even with my hospital card. We tried the line of the castration. Yeah, there you go. After all, with prideful, oh, sorry. Guys got me all distracted there. The sex chats were legitimized as part of the NSA's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Activists within the agency used LGBTQ plus employees resource groups to turn their kinks and pathologies into official work duties. These were not quite G-rated conversations. The discussion often became explicit. One SA insider claimed to have witnessed hundreds of sexually provocative discussions, which he added occur mostly on the taxpayer dime. The former NSA source who was familiar with the chats recalled being disgusted by a particularly shocking thread discussing weekend gangbangs. It gets worse, of course, in these chats. One popular topic that was male to female transgender surgery. People who were supposed to be intelligence professionals also whiled away their work hours discussing hair removal, estrogen injections, and the experience of sexual pleasure post-castration. Others went for discussions of polyamory, or as they delicately put it, ethical non-monogamy. Some intelligence officials spent all day in meetings discussing topics such as privilege, pride, and transgender community inclusion. One NSA officer insisted on being referred to as it rather than he or she. The good news is that it is about to lose its job. Monday evening, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard wrote, "This behavior is unacceptable and those involved will be held accountable." These disgusting chat groups were immediately shut down when the President of the United States issued his executive order ending the diversity, equity, inclusion insanity the Biden administration was so obsessed with. Our IC must be focused on our core mission, ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. And ABC News reported Wednesday that more than 100 intelligence community employees will be terminated and have their security clearances revoked as the intelligence community investigates group chats that allegedly discussed explicit behavior. By then, the process had already been set in motion. On Tuesday, Gabbard's deputy chief of Alex Henning said the DNI sent a memo directing all intelligence agencies to identify the employees who participated in the NSA's obscene, pornographic, and sexually explicit chat rooms and to terminate their employment and revoke their security clearances. Deadline is on Friday. Gabbard also said there are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed and participated in this. What is really just an egregious violation of trust? What to speak of like basic rules and standards around professionalism? She said that this house cleaning was part of the Trump administration's efforts to clean house, root out that rot and corruption and weaponization and politicization, so we can start to rebuild that trust in these institutions that are charged with an important mission of serving the American people, ensuring our safety, security, and freedom. More than a house clean is needed. The NSA is going to need a full fumigation, and through a thoroughgoing, all-encompassing overhaul that the culture... Sorry, I lost my place there. The culture that gave rise to this sick madness is thoroughly rooted out and cannot return once the heat is turned off. At least they're working on it as a team. That's true. It's teamwork. Even though I'm a widow, I still have my elasticator. I don't know what that means. Good morning, Rosalind, too. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Good to see you. Now, today being Thursday, I have a very interesting day planned for me. So it's going to be a very, very long day of online activity. And then, of course, this evening, hopefully, I will have a stream, hopefully. And then tomorrow morning, I will be having Mo in the Deep End over here for our regular Friday morning stream. And this is going to be a blast. We have such a great time on those Fridays because it gets completely derailed. Oh, rubber band. Gotcha. Elasticator. It's used for the removing the happy parts of livestock. Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. It's good to know. Ouch. Differences. Ouch. Yes. Oh, thank you. That gets you a little cringed out there, doesn't it? Yeah, yesterday we were talking about jag-off sessions, and now we're talking about castration. Great. See, why does it always have to do with removal of something? Poor Rosalind Duke. She has been confirmed to be part platypus. Yes, don't want to mess with her. Time to take your daughter to school. Well, Elka, you have a wonderful, wonderful day and have a wonderful time. We will see you again very soon. Make stallions into geldings. That is so true. Oh my gosh. Sean Curran's Secret Service head and Trump assassination attempt witness. Sean Curran leaped to Donald Trump's side when the then presidential candidate was shot in the ear during a July campaign rally. He said he was willing to sit in jail cell with Trump to protect him. Now he's in charge of the Secret Service and promising to replace DE hires with qualified and effective agents. When the image of Trump with blood on his face and his fist raised defiantly as he rose up under the American flag was released, it quickly became an internationally iconic photograph. And right next to Trump in the famous image is Sean Curran, who most certainly is true that the Secret Service had a major failure that July day. But it seems to have created a personal bond between Curran and Trump. It remains to be seen if Curran will address the serious corruption and incompetence within the Secret Service, if he will be merely masking the problem for enacting change. Not that the Curran is new to the task of guarding Trump. For 7 years, he has protected the president, and that being included with him for numerous court hearings and now to an assassination attempt service that Curran told CBS News was life-changing without revealing details of Trump's comments during these dramatic situations. Curran affirmed Trump is calm and collected every single day. The Secret Service did discuss what would happen if Trump were sent to jail. We had serious conversations about it, and I at one point told him he and I might be getting a lot closer. Curran claimed, look, if it came to it, I'd be sitting right next to him. That's how much I care for him. That's how much I felt that he deserved the level of protection that any of our protectees should get. There's nothing I would not have done for him. We can only hope that will drive Curran to a very serious efforts to ensure no massive security failures. In fact, Curran reported urged security ahead of the first attempt, but was ignored. Curran professes to have been profoundly affected by the Butler shooting. Part of me probably still hasn't processed it. I haven't from that day to now. I haven't stopped, he told CBS. I felt like I couldn't let him out of my sight, not to the point where I'd be overworked, but to the point where I felt like I needed to be with him to ensure that things were done the way he needed them to be done. I didn't want to leave his side. I think he probably didn't want me to leave his side either. He isn't very comfortable with the fame that resulted from his face being an iconic photo, however. Curran worked on Barack Obama's Secret Service detail before joining Trump's team in 2016. He remembers that he and Deputy Matt Paint warned their fellow Secret Service agents that Trump, with his incredibly busy schedule and unique situation, need more significant protective detail than Secret Service was willing to grant after 2020, without stating any names or going into details on a huge failure in Butler that resulted in Trump's injury and audience member Corey Competeur, I cannot say the name, Competeur's death. Curran did admit that leadership is not always in touch anymore with agents on the ground, and inexperienced people are likely creating issues. I understand what people on the ground need, he insisted. Curran wants more money for the Secret Service, which seems potentially problematic, but he also recognizes that Secret Service has become infected by wokeism. He rejects former Director Kimberly Cheadle's goal of ensuring the Secret Service is now 30% female by 2030. One of the issues in Butler, incidentally, was the apparent incompetence of female agents there. When you highlight a specific group or person, you're not going to get the best qualified candidates, he stated. My only goal is to put the right people on the field and get the best qualified applicants for this job, no matter what the position is and no matter what that may look like. Interestingly, field agents like Curran are not often chosen to lead the Secret Service, even though they have on-the-ground experience. He says some of his fellow agents don't approve of his appointment, but he did recently receive a friendly call from Clint Hill, a former Secret Service agent who witnessed the assassination of JFK. And Curran affirmed that Trump, though sometimes disliking restrictions on his activities, has always been very respectful to the Secret Service. He has always shown respect to not only me, but the division that protected him, Curran said. We have a bond, probably for life. Mel Klopp, the Fed should be called the U.S. administration. Yes, there you go. Thank you for becoming a member and being here for 2 wonderful months, Mel. It's always appreciated. It is going to be a very interesting month next month. I've got so much stuff planned. I don't know how I'm going to make a lot of time for the streaming. Like the next couple of months, I will say I've got some personal things going on that are going to probably keep me very, very busy. Much more to be determined at a later point in time. Like 3D life is about to become very overwhelming on me. So I if you guys see that I've backed off from the YouTube for a little bit, well, that's because, like I said, 3D life is about to get very, very interesting. And it's going to get crazy. Let's just put it that way. I'm sort of bracing myself for it and fearing it a little bit and anticipating it on the other. So enjoy this while you can, because there might come a time very soon. Personal things. How dare I have a life? That's right, Stephen. How dare I have one? Morning, you silly nuts. Welcome, Share Bear. Oh, we've got the bears in here. We've got Share Bear in here, and we got Stephen Bear in here. Are you guys related by any chance? Yeah, 3D life comes first. Yeah, it's exciting and good. It's not like something bad is going to happen. It's just that I've got, like I said, 3D life, very exciting stuff that's about to happen. So I've got to, it's got to, yeah, I took your toy away. That's right. I took your toy away. Oh, you'll get a little bit more of it later tonight. I do have a stream planned for tonight that's going to be quite fun, but what I'm going to have to do is fix the sound for one. I don't mind the drums so much because it's quite funny, but I'm going to fix the. Let's put it this way: it's going to take a lot more to set the damn thing off, because last night it was any time that someone became a member, it would go off, which isn't bad, but I want to make sure that I get that one fixed. So whenever people get the memberships, that the gifting person is recognized, and those people recognized just without all the music and probably the drum. You guys are bad. But do you have the stars? Yes. I've been dreading not being able to watch your morning shows while you're fishing. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe tonight will be a saxophone, Share Bear. That is not going to happen. You might see that. The banjos were driving you nuts. Not gonna lie. I know. It was driving me nuts also, but chat was having a lot of fun last night. I will just say. Good to see you, Fall Storm. Chat was having an absolute blast, and how dare I take that away from them? Oh, I mean, yes, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I was not about to remove that ability for chat to have their blast. Yes, it was a bit much. Yes, I agree. We gave you all the best we could. I know. We were having too much fun. Guys, you guys were definitely, I couldn't stop laughing. I really couldn't. And it's probably a good thing that, that nobody joined last night. They would have been so upset. They would have been so upset if they joined last night. I had a very, very, very interesting, very, very interesting night. Let's put it that way. Oh, can you imagine the stream coming out of the fleas in Florida? It was funny, but I'm glad I was watching from behind. I had to fast forward a bit. Yes. Yeah. I suggest if you are going to go back and watch last night, unless you just like watching someone being tortured for like about 45 minutes, I just fast forward through that part of it because nothing was talked about. It was just pure torture. Gotta bounce. I'll be listening. We have a good one, Rosalind. You have a wonderful one. I'm sore from all the laughing yesterday. Yes, in the moment, you guys, I was having quite a blast, but I may have to go in and edit that out just so you guys can get the darn story. Oh, I would have done it to the fleas just to shut them. You don't do that. Don't do that. That's hilarious. How many sheets of stars did you use up? Two sheets of stars I used up last night. And part of another one. I threw one of them already away. So just so you guys know, that was one sheet right there, and then another one partially, and I threw another one away. So two, almost 3 sheets last night. Your keys will fast forward. Yeah. What you have to do is wait until you see the whole, and if anybody needs some guidance, you just wait until it goes full screen with me, and fast forward until you see the other screen pop up, which gives you the rest of the reading. And then you know you've skipped far enough. Don't edit. I want to show my husband when he gets home. Oh, okay. I'll leave it up there. Morning, Starsy. I've been here mostly lurking, not quite awake yet. That's fine, Heidi. You're welcome to be there. Yes. And then we have this one right here. It didn't take long for free speech to prevail in Mississippi. Last week, we brought you a story of a city council in Mississippi that was so thin-skinned that it couldn't handle a critical editorial in the local paper. The city of Clarksdale took the Clarksdale Press Register to court over an op-ed in which the editors questioned why the city lobbied the state government for a sin tax without notifying the citizens or local media. The editorial highlighted how the mayor has touted his open and transparent government, yet he and city council didn't notify the press about its intentions despite promising to give appropriate notice thereof to the media. The editors admitted that they support the tax, yet they questioned why the city left everyone in the dark about the lobbying efforts. In the court filing, the city clerk admitted she forgot to notify the media of the city's efforts, which turned out to be a violation of state law. Nevertheless, Judge Crystal Wise Martin issued an order demanding that the paper take the editorial off its website without hearing that would give the paper a chance to tell its side of the story. Weird how that happens, isn't it? For over 100 years, the Press Register had served the people of Clarksdale by speaking the truth and printing the facts. President of Emmerich Newspapers and the Press Register's publishers, we didn't earn the community's trust by backing down to politicians. We didn't plan on starting now. The order set off a First Amendment firestorm in the paper and listed the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression to help defend against its unconstitutional onslaught. By the end of last week, the Fire had agreed to help the Press Register work to lift the judge's order. The implications of this case go beyond one Mississippi town censoring its paper of record, said Fire attorney David Rubin. If the government can get a court order silencing mere questions about its decisions, the First Amendment's rights of all Americans are in jeopardy. It did not take long for the city to see the error of its ways. Besides being in Mississippi, the board went and voted not to proceed with the suit against the Press Register. Dropping the suits also invalidated the restraining order, and the paper was free to publish the editorial. While we are relieved the city has voted to drop its vindictive lawsuit, it doesn't unring this bell, Rubin said. The Press Register is exploring its options to ensure that the city refrains from blatantly unconstitutional censorship in the future. So free speech is alive and well in Mississippi again. Parties involved in the controversy celebrates the victory for press freedom. If asking whether a politician might be corrupt was liable, virtually every American would be bankrupt, said Fire attorney Josh Bleich For good reason, courts have long held that political speech about government officials deserves the widest latitude and strongest protection under the First Amendment. That's true from the White House all the way down to your local councilman. If the board had grumbled and gone about their day, the whole brouhaha wouldn't have traveled far outside our town, said Emmerich. But when they tried to censor us, the eyes of the nation were on Clarksdale, and millions heard about our editorial. Let this be a lesson. If you try to silence one voice in America, 100 more will take up the call. Thank God common sense and decency prevailed. Like the Press Register, PGA Media stands up for free speech every day. They can't do it without your help. You can become a VIP member, and you can get 60% off your VIP membership when you use the code FIGHT. That's FIGHT. There you go. And it usually, if you go onto PJ Media, you can pull up these VIP things, and it'll just automatically be there. Didn't sling full time, but now you're healing. Flu is getting better. Wonderful. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, it's starting to get towards the end where I'm going to have to show probably something a little more touchy. A little more touchy. So we're gonna pull this next one up here. The New York Times obliterates the myth that Planned Parenthood is about anything other than abortion. Once in a while, the mainstream media does something useful, even if it's just saying the quiet part out loud. I came across this New York Times piece from earlier this month that makes some startling revelations about one of the left's biggest sacred cows, and that's Planned Parenthood. Reporter Katie Berner begins her piece by telling the story of a woman who went to Planned Parenthood for an abortion. The single mother is still experienced bleeding and cramps after the procedure, so she returned to Planned Parenthood, where clinicians told her that she was fine, nothing was wrong. She later delivered a stillborn baby at 12 weeks. It's a heartbreaking account, but it's also worthwhile springboard to Planned Parenthood's failures. Planned Parenthood is synonymous with the fight to preserve abortion rights, but it's also the healthcare provider of last resort to millions of the poorest Americans. Its clinics offer cancer screenings, birth control, annual gynecological exams, prenatal care, regardless of whether patients can afford to pay. And the organization is unique in its reach, one of the few healthcare providers with a presence in all 50 states. But a New York Times review of the clinic documents and legal filings, as well as interviews with more than 50 current and former Planned Parenthood executives, consultants, medical staff members, found that some clinics are so short of cash that care is suffered. The medical Many operate with aging equipment, poorly trained staff. As turnovers increased because of rock bottom salaries, patient counts have sunk from a high of 5 million and 900 clinics in the 90s to 2.1 million and 600 clinics today. Planned Parenthood has massively fundraised off the Dobbs decision in 2022 to the tune of nearly $500 million that year alone. However, the organization's bylaws require that a vast majority of that money go towards lobbying for the deleting of children. Thus, the function of Planned Parenthood that generally help people go underfunded or totally unfunded. Benner points out that much of the funding for healthcare at Planned Parenthood clinics comes from Medicaid, and that varies from state to state. To be fair, the disjointed nature of state funding hurts the healthcare side of the organization. However, another one of the left's sacred cows is at odds with this part of Planned Parenthood's mission. Obamacare is giving poor women more options for healthcare, which means that fewer of them go to these clinics for procedures other than deletions. Clinics are running out of money for healthcare options, so they're running out of supplies, failing to properly keep up facilities, laying off staff. But can you guess which aspect Planned Parenthood thrives? You guessed it, deletions. There are bright spots, especially in areas of the country that support those rights. Brenner reports, it's tremendously sad to see the phrases bright spots and deletion rights as the same sentence. She continues, Planned Parenthood in Illinois recently opened an 11,200 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Carbondale, a few hours drive from the borders of Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Missouri, which have banned or severely restricted those deletions. The affiliate boosted salaries for staff and improved benefit packages as it prepared to welcome women from nearby states who were seeking to delete children. An affiliate in Ohio made substantial upgrades to a deletion clinics that southern New England have kept wait times low. In conservative media, we often use clickbait phrase like saying the quiet part out loud in the headlines. In this case, the New York Times did just that. And lamenting Planned Parenthood's trouble with healthcare funding, Benner reveals that the organization is keeping the main thing, and focusing on deletion. That has always been Planned Parenthood's primary mission and always will be, regardless of how hard the left tries to push the myth that Planned Parenthood is all about health care. That's a rough one to talk about right there. I can't physically have it demand my right to have one if I want one. Exactly. And you should be able to have that right. But you also have to remember there is a lot of things going on, like with this. Trump revokes Biden's concessions to commie Venezuela. Donald Trump has taken yet another tyrannical government, this time by revoking Biden-era concessions to the socialist Venezuelan regime. Trump announced on February 26 that in light of Venezuela's corrupted election system and delays in deporting back dangerous Venezuelan illegals from America, the country can no longer expect to receive the concessions that commie Joe Biden granted to it. Hordes of Venezuelan Tren de Argula gang members, whom Biden allowed into America as illegals and then permitted to run riot in Democrat cities, have garnered national attention and outrage over the last year or more. In a True Social post on Wednesday, Trump declared, "We are hereby reversing the concessions that crooked Joe Biden gave Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela on the oil transaction agreement dated November 26, 2022, and also having to do with electoral conditions within Venezuela, which have not been met by Maduro's regime." The Biden administration loosened oil sanctions against Maduro's regime in Venezuela. Trump added, additionally, the regime has not been transporting the violent criminals that they sent into our country, the good old USA, back to Venezuela at a rapid pace that they agreed to. I am therefore ordering that the ineffective and unmet Biden's concession agreement be terminated as of March 1st, option to renew. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Significantly, under Biden and Camel Toe, Venezuelans were among the national groups allowed to access the CBP, one app that facilitated the flying into America of hundreds of thousands of illegals every month. That continued despite the threat of the Tren de Argula and other illegal alien criminal activity. In fact, Biden administration was reporting allowing up to 1,500 illegal aliens daily via the CPB-1 as of November after Trump's 2024 election victory. Fortunately, Trump turned off the app on his first day in office. Now, back in 2019, Fox described how socialism had turned Venezuela into the richest country in all of South America into an economic basket case. Starvation, violence, lack of basic medical necessities are among the nightmares that have plagued the country that was once so prosperous. Under the late dictator Hugo Chavez and current hand-picked successor Maduro, Venezuela has suffered under years of economic catastrophe thanks to the communist ideology its government imposed on it. The U.S. government should have granted no concessions at all to Venezuela under Maduro, and Trump is right to roll back these concessions and insist that Maduro deport home some of the criminals he was happy to see leave the country to import their violence to the United States. The USA is back under Trump, and global dictators are beginning to feel those consequences. Oh my, oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It is hitting that time of day that I am going to be happy to get started with work. And all of you fine people get to enjoy just a little bit of what makes this channel so much fun. So much fun. And this is one of my favorite right here about to come up. I hope you can handle it, because this person will put a smile on your face. And here we go right now.
Youngins, cover your ears, cause shit's about to get real. Any hootie? Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am absolutely sick of hearing a bunch of pussy-lipped frog fuckers bitch about immigration. So let's get some shit straight, shall we? First off, you know how clit-donkulous it is to hear you hypocritical dick sparkles say some bullshit. Oh my god, if y'all do this mass deportation, what about the children? You're separating families. Because y'all didn't give a single flying fuck about all the children that come across that border that's missing. Poof, they vanish. No clue where the fuck they are. And I'm not talking about a handful. I'm talking about over 400,000 children. I'll give you one even better. Y'all didn't say shit about Biden removing all the regulations and laws for DNA testing for adults and children coming across borders together to make sure those adults were who they said they was to these children, which was put in place to begin with to keep children safe. Y'all's backs have got to hurt for all the audacity that y'all tote around. Let's go ahead and put everything on the table. Aren't the Democrats and the liberals straight out craving validation from children for your sexual orientation and gender identity? Let's be honest. Children were the only ones that y'all can manipulate and trick into believing y'all's bullshit. Don't even try to come at me like a dick-sucking ignoramus and deny it. Second, oh my god, if they deport these people, who's gonna work all these jobs? Hold on a minute. Who y'all are completely okay with somebody from another country who's here illegally, who work a back-breaking fucking job for pennies on the dollar. But I guarantee none of y'all would do that fucking job, now would you? Of course not. A lot of you wouldn't even work at a fucking fast food joint because y'all would rather sit at home on your ass and collect the disability check for your anxiety and your depression at 20 fucking years old. Third, you know there's quite a few places that are refusing to take these immigrants back, to their home country? Why? Because their crime rates have dropped tremendously since all these motherfuckers have come here. Then our tax money has to go towards supporting them? No! We got our own fucking problems here in the U.S. We don't need any more coming in. Those of you that are against the deportation and cutting funding off to take care of them, go pick you some up and bring them to your house. And you financially take care of them with your own damn money. Especially those of you that are fucking millionaires, actresses, actors, and fucking government officials. You some bitches got multiple homes and millions in the bank. Ain't no way you can't take in a couple of immigrants and take care of them. Oh, y'all don't want to do that? What a shock. Well, since that's the case and you're not going to do your part, shut the fuck up, Pop. I said what I said.
I thought that was one of the best things that I saw. But there is so much more that I could show you. Like this one right here. Like this guy also I quite enjoy, and I got a couple more that I'll show before I head out of here, before we end this and send you guys over to see Mo in the Deep End. It's this guy right here.
So many Republicans across the country are now regretting their vote for Donald Trump.
Harry, if so many people are regretting their vote, why was the only example you could find a random fake-ass account on X? Seriously, Harry, this is not a real person. There's no profile picture, and the name is Marilyn 8643348882. Like, according to X, this person has had this account for like 3 fucking years. In that entire time, they've only managed to make 2 posts. One, where they said they were so happy that Trump was winning, and then magically, this post. Like, bro, do you know a fake troll account when you see one? Do you think this person chose the name Marilyn 86434882, and they made sure they only made 1 post, and that was supporting Trump, and now magically their second ever post was my daughter lost her job today? Like, here's the thing, dude. If you're going to tell us that we're regretting Trump being elected, maybe try getting a real person. Like, you guys are fucking ridiculous.
So many Republicans.
Yes, this is so many were doing that. So many people were regretting it. The only people that it seems are really regretting it are Tim Walz's daughter. Right here again.
These comments always make me laugh because it just proves my point, the point I made in my last video. Y'all just don't get it. You just don't get it. You are supposed to do this work because you believe that you can do good for the country and the people of this country, not because you want to have like power over people, right? Okay, he lost.
Yeah.
We didn't storm the Capitol and try to overturn that like y'all. I don't really understand like what this
Neither did
dump
we.
is. We accepted it and now we're doing the work that we can do. And frankly, it's not easy to have a family member in elected office and
Oh my
on the
God.
national stage. It's not easy at all. We have to deal with people like you every fucking day saying stupid shit like this. Like, it is not easy. And as a privileged white person, my status in society is probably not going to change much regardless.
Privileged white person, my status in society isn't going to change much. Yeah. No, I can't stream for 2 more hours. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. That is wonderful. Oh, I've got to get the star out for you there, J-Hip. But no, I can't stream for 2 more hours. That won't happen. I mean, you know, I think she's not figuring this one out. Also, people tend to blind themselves to these kinds of things. They really do.
Of who's president, but I have empathy for other people.
Really?
I don't give a fuck about me. I'm fine. Okay. It's other people and your lack of empathy and
other people
commenting shit like this. It just shows how terrible and ignorant you are. Like, get over it.
You know, you have that same psycho look that your mother has. Just saying.
Get over it. Everyone is going to suffer because of decisions that you made. It doesn't affect me. Who gives a fuck about me?
Well, we surely don't. Your dad lost. Get over it.
Get real, people. Get real. And again, if you want to be president or be, you know, connected to that in any way, and like that's your goal in life, something's wrong with you. You do the work because you think you can do good. And that's what we were doing. And I'm not ashamed of that. And I never will be. I'm fucking proud.
You did good, huh? What kind of good were you trying to do? I'm curious because I can't seem to figure out exactly what their problem is. I know a cheap vet. Don't do that to people. No. Oh. No. Nope, can't show that one. It's a good thing I didn't pull that one up before checking it and seeing that one I was not going to show. That one I was not going to show. But remember, tomorrow is going to be total economic blackout this Friday. That's what the libs are screaming about, want to have happen. It's going to be interesting to watch all of this, but nothing as fun as this guy right here. This is the last I will show you before we head out. This dad is a true hero right here. Look at that. I love it. It's so cute.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show, let's go. breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.